Alright folks, how's it going? There's Catties, come out for a bimble. If I can truly say, the weather right now is very warm. Not warm, you know what I mean? If I compare it to what it was like last week, we had -5s, -8s and stuff like that, but the snow is pretty much gone here, fortunately. Obviously everything's still wet right now, but yeah, I ain't complaining. I've not even dressed very heavy today. I've literally got a merino wool base layer on and a really thin mid layer, and that's it. And obviously outer layer on my hat, but not like buffalo shirt and everything else I was wearing last week. So yeah, pucker. So I'm going to come out very lightweight today. I've got my wearing the my little belt rig from the Helikon Tex one, the Foxtrot Mark II rig. So I've got that on. Packed with brew kit and stuff like that. Might have a bit of porridge just for a bit of brunch, and I'm going to sit down and make a bow saw. So I've got a blade, and then I've got a length of hazel, and I'm going to knock up a bow saw while I'm out here, take advantage of the situation. Alright, so stay tuned. Just get the debris off it. Oh, it's the only sharp you've got today. Where's the file? Use it as much as I should. Got my lid. Try and get round it like this. Hopefully the grill might keep the flame off, keep it away from the mug. So from the top, so at least I can get some steam in there. It's crossed. Right, I forgot on my lid. So, I don't know how, because I was sorting my bits out yesterday, but for some reason I mustn't have put the lid in there. So, I'm going to have to improvise. So what I've done was I put the grill, the thicker grill on top, and I'm hoping that it's going to keep some of the flamage away from my cup. So it'll at least be able to, you know, sort of seal in a bit of steam. I need to keep an eye on that, won't I? If you don't know, oh no, that's not going to work. It's flicking right up there at the minute. Oh well. Back to plan B then. I'm going to have to use, just do it without the lid for now. I thought I'd put the the lid in there, but I obviously hadn't, because I was sorting out the brew kit and that for a video. So someone was asking about rations, so that video will be coming up soon, and I'm sure as hell that I've sorted it out and put it all back in there. Well, for some reason I obviously haven't. See what I mean, folks? That's poor preparation on my behalf, isn't it? I'm sitting here having a brew. I'll fill you in on what happened a little bit last week. My missus, with the lead up to Valentine's Day, she bought me a. I must have said something to her about a certain piece of titanium kit from Boundless Voyage, and she purchased it for me. And I was mucking around with it last week in the shed when I first got it. And basically what I ordered was sort of like the mess tin, the kidney shaped mess tin with a windshield, and you're supposed to use it as a, you know, you can use it as a with a meths burner, transient burner is what I used it with, or you can use wood on it as for fuel. And I did a little, because I was in the shed, I did a little reel, you know, just to stick up on Instagram. And it wasn't until I was recording it that I'd noticed that on the actual windshield you've got 3 holes across the top on one side, 3 holes across the top on the other, and then you've got an opening where obviously you'd feed your wood or whatever. And I noticed that the flame from the burner was flicking up and hitting the handles. Now there's a bail arm on top, and then you've got the 2 handles that fold around the sides. Now I'd noticed it straight away that like the flame was hitting that, and it was proper getting hot. You know, obviously it's going to get hot with the flame hitting it, especially with it being titanium. Anyway, in the meantime, what I'd done was I actually contacted Boundless Voyage via Instagram, sent them a few pictures, and this is what my findings were. And at first I'd probably say they weren't really that helpful. They were saying that, well, you know, there's a bail arm on top and all the rest of it, but naturally most people will use the bail arms on the side, unless it's like a zebra billy can or something like that. If you haven't got the handles on the side, you're then, you know, that's what you've got to use, the bail arm to tip your hot water in or whatever it is you're doing. But in this case it's got the fold away handles, and I said to them that, to me, naturally people will want to use the handles rather than the bail arm on top. Anyway, a couple of sort of messages to it and throw in and all the rest of it. And in the meantime, obviously because I put it up as a reel on Instagram, the amount of comments that I got from people saying that, you know, do you get a free pair of gloves to stop you from burning your hands? You know, a lot of people have noticed it. There was a lot of people that have noticed the query with it. Well, being that the price that it was just under £50, and I bought it from Amazon, so I returned the item. And I told Boundless Voyage why I was returning the item. They were then a little bit more sort of forthcoming and said that I think they're looking at maybe changing the design of it, because, and the fact that it's kidney shaped, you can't really turn the cup round the other way, but even then you're still going to hit the 3 holes that are on the other side of the windshield. So with that, I sent it back. I mean, I was a bit gutted, you know, I was kind of gutted because it was a nice little setup. It's just unfortunately to me, I don't think they've done their homework enough. I mean, even when you watch the video that's on Amazon, you know, dare for me to say it doesn't look, you know, you can start to find nuances in the video, obviously because I've had the experience of actually using the windshield. But it is what it is. I mean, the other kit I've been using, the Nestle one with the little pot and the slightly bigger one that I can use to suspend over the fire or just put it on the grill and stuff like that, that's fine, that's no worries with that. And I've got an old Boundless Voyage 110 mil pot that I believe Dave Canterbury was promoting, and it was a Boundless Voyage one that he was promoting until eventually they put their you know, they put their arrowhead or spearhead or whatever it is onto their products that they use, Self-Reliance Outfitters or whatever. And that's, you know, regardless of that, I mean, you know, if they were in the UK I would have purchased it off them, but because they're not, and because obviously as usual here in the UK we get skanked for import tax and all that sort of stuff from across the pond, you know, I didn't get it from them. So it was just unfortunate really with that particular item that it was yeah, it was obviously, you know, a little bit of a failure in my eyes, I think. So hopefully they'll get on top of that. So, you know, I wasn't horrible about it. I was genuine. I tried to show them pictures and everything else because I like their kit, to be honest. I sort of said I'd keep them updated with what's going on with it. And who knows? You know, it's good that you can obviously help people out like that. You know, help companies out like that. So let's hopefully they have taken it truly on board and they'll sort out the issue. So yeah, there it is. People that I know a couple of people were curious that follow me on Instagram and were asking about the Boundless Voyage. Rather than me just typing and replying to people individual, I thought I'd just incorporate it in this video so everybody knows now. All right, but I'm not shooting, you know, their stuff down at all. I think they have got some nice bits. I mean, I did actually order a titanium water bottle from Keith, and it came through, and I sent that straight back. I just weren't impressed with that at all. I wasn't impressed with the way the lid screws on. It's not how I traditionally know a screwed down lid. There's not a lot of thread on it, and to me it just looks like if you've got that inside your rucksack you might be able to knock that top and it might come undone, and I wasn't impressed with it at all, unfortunately. So I sent that back, and again that's quite a fair amount of money, one of those. And I sent it back. You know, I thought I'll just stick to my Nalgene bottle and my Pathfinder bottle, you know, because I mean at the end of the day, titanium, you know, as much as it's a lightweight material, yeah, you can get away with it with your cooking stoves and stuff like that, but I think when it comes to water, you know, it's a heavy commodity anyway. So you know, it is what it is really. So yeah, there it is, folks. That's what's happened with Boundless Voyage. But please don't write them off. This isn't slandering Boundless Voyage, because I do think they've got some great products out there. I really do. I just think sometimes with certain kit, not just them, you know, there's lots of other people, when they bring out bits, they think it's the be and end all, and then when maybe they just don't trial it out enough, or maybe they need to send certain products out to maybe certain people, you know, to maybe look at some nuances when it comes to actually, you know, before they actually put the products out on the market. It might save them a bit of money in the long run, mightn't it? You know, but who am I to say? So I've just been talking to you people, and me stove's dwindled down now. Not a lot of ash left in there now, so I'll have to I don't even know if I'll even bother getting it going again really. And once I've had this, it's hot. There's a little bit of smoke there. Whether it generates anything, who knows. Let's use a bit of that. It's still a bit damp, but it might be enough for it to catch. Yeah. Every gone in the brew. not really that worried if it goes out, to be quite honest. I'm just trying to keep it there if I can. If I do have another brew in a little while, I haven't got to worry about getting it going again. I've got some spare cotton wool anyway. I tell you, it's a lot warmer today, folks. I tell you, even though it's very overcast and there's a bit of drizzle in the air, compared to how it has been this last sort of week or so, it's not too bad really. Can't complain about it now. Oh, I didn't need to do a lot of blowing there, the old wind sorted that one out. The only saw I've got is on here. Excuse me. What I'll do is I've obviously bought this out today just to use a Leatherman, but what I've done is I've made a little pocket for it, a little sheath, because when you clench it as much as you do, they do sort of hurt your hands after a little while. So, you know, let's cut a bit of this maple down. Just to use it to be able to feed into the stove. It's quite a nice little blade, a nice little, I don't use it as much as I should really. There you go. This is the Leatherman Wave if anyone's interested. I mean, I know there's hundreds of them out there. I've got the original Leatherman. I've had it since the 80s. I had it when I was in the army, and I've still got it. But I obviously the original didn't have any locking blades in it or anything like this one does. Alright, so I thought what we'd do then is I'm going to make a bow saw. Okay, I've got a bit of hazel. I've had to bring this in with me because there's no hazel and that around here, and I like using hazel because it's quite springy. And it obviously gives quite a bit better than some other woods. But anyway, that's what I've got, a bit of hazel. Now I've got a blade in here. This is for deadwood by the looks of things, this blade. Alright, it's about a 22, 24 inch blade, something like that. Alright, now some people when they're making these, this is my mindset, okay? To me, a buck saw or a collapsible buck saw is the one that has many components, that is made up of braces and all that sort of stuff, and it's got a windlass on it to obviously tighten it up to bring it together. That to me is a buck saw or a collapsible buck saw. A bow saw, to me, in my way of thinking, is something that resembles a bow, almost like, you know, an archery bow and a bow and a string. So for example, this would be the bow itself, okay, and then obviously the blade would be the string, okay. So that's what we're going to be making. Well, this is what I'm going to make. I'm going to make a bow, okay, as opposed to a buck saw. I have made a buck saw in the past. I will stick a card up there towards the end of the video if you want to go over and have a look at it. It was just a video when I was out some time ago, so you can go and have a look at that one if you so wish. I mean, there's a number of ways of making them. I do believe that Simon, a bloke in the woods, makes them completely from scratch. I mean, I believe that carpentry is his trade, and he does produce a lot of good stuff. And his buck saws obviously sell out quite quickly. I've got one by Ray Mears that my wife bought me many moons ago for my birthday. No, not for my birthday, it was just for Father's Day actually. And I've still got it. I don't really use it as much as I should really, but I do take it out every now and again. But anyway, maybe I'm just babbling on now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a buck saw, okay, as opposed to a bow saw. So we're going to make a bow saw as opposed to a buck saw. Right, so we've got our piece of green wood. I've slowly been bending this, okay, off camera, okay, doing it nice and slowly, so you can just hear the fibres starting to tear in the wood. Alright, I am going to have to cut this down a bit more. Oh, just there, look, it's split there, but that's not a problem. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I've got the blade. Alright, as I say, it's about a 22-24mm blade, something like that. So what we're going to need to do first of all is obviously put a slight split into it. Alright, and with that, because I've only got the Leatherman, that's what I'm going to have to use. I'm going to have to batten with a Leatherman. So, oh, must be someone down on the other track. So they're nowhere near me, folks. Alright. So what we're going to do then, we're going to give this a little split. Obviously we need to do it so that it's going to be the same as when it goes through the other side of the handle. Right. So I've got a gentle persuader. I'll just keep the camera rolling. Turn it up like that. Right, so I'm going to put a split into it. So about there. Oh, didn't lock off. There we go. Right. So what I've done then, so I've obviously put a split into the wood. Okay. Now you can, if you so wish, just leave that like so, and then you can obviously place your blade, you know, place your blade in there like so. What I've done is when I've got this blade, I've carried it in a little pouch that Mac Tartwood made for us for my boreal saw. But what I've actually got in there is some split rings. Okay, you can use dowels, you can make dowels, or use a couple of little nuts and bolts and all that sort of stuff to stick in there. But for convenience, you know, a couple of split rings, whether or not you actually have them attached to the saw already, or whether you attach them onto a zip or something like that at a later date, you know, that's totally up to you. But what you can do as well is obviously lash, you know, to stop it from splitting all the way up. What you can do is actually lash it up so far to obviously prevent it from splitting up any further, which we'll do on one of them anyway, so you can get a picture on how to do it. All right, so what I'm going to do, just leaving it in there now, all right, like so. What we're going to do is we're just going to bend it over. Right, it's going to be about there, yeah. So now we're going to bend it over. Obviously, being careful with the actual bend, because the last thing you want to do is obviously turn the wood into an acute angle. Okay, so we're going to go something like there. Can we get it? Can we get it? Can we get it? Can we bend it round? I think so. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some excess off it. I'm going to save arsing about, folks. I'll just leave the video running. It'll just save me, you know, save me mucking around with it. Just leave it going. Just bear with it for a sec. I need to use this sort. I'm going to use this gear a bit more often than I need, I think. Right, just to be a little bit bold, I'm going to cut it off here. Let's take that blade out for a second. Over there. So where was we? Where's my cutting mark? Can't see it now. There it is. So I'm just going to cut it off there, just to get rid of some of that excess. Now, I mean, obviously, you know, this, I think, to be brutally honest, it's just something to practice at. It's not something I'd want to be doing all the time, really. You know, whether it's a, you know, whether you've got a Laplander or a silky saw or whatever it is, it's always, you know, it's great fun to make them. Some maths on how to work this out for the curvature and stuff like that, but I'm literally just doing it. Doing it by naked eye. Right, so just going to keep that on my foot there for a minute. It was bending okay off camera. Right, okay, here goes it. Don't want it to split now, do we? Oh, I'm getting scared. Oof. Slowly. All the fibres are going, that's cool. That's good. Yeah. Fanny dabby dozy. Right, so we've got it now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my split in the wood on the other side to accommodate the blade. Oh. Put the saw blade away, knife blade out, and then we're going to put a batten the split into it there. That depth of the blade. Okay. Bend it over again. Oh, don't. It looks like it's got. It looks like I might get it might go a bit more acute there. Right, let's take it out a sec. What I'm going to have to do now, I'm going to have to bend it between the trees there, just to sort of try and get more of a bend on it there. So I'll come back to you in a minute, folks. So when I managed to get the last bit on the bow saw in there, this is what you don't really want to do, really, is get it too acute, because then obviously you're not going to get the tension there. I mean, there is still a bit there, but it might not be enough for the blade. So I mean, what I could try and do, but then you start mucking around with it a bit too much about putting an actual brace in there and stuff like that. A bit gutted about that, really. But we'll see. So this, folks, was a failure. What I was hoping to do was to put a brace in there. I think maybe what I could have done was maybe put it further down, but of the materials I'm working with right now, obviously a lot shorter, so here's what it is. Made a little windlass to sort of tighten it up. But what it's doing, it's obviously pulling it into the middle. I was hoping it was going to pull it out with the brace there, but it seems to be pulling it into the middle. So unfortunately, that's not how you do both. Alright, so it's what it is. Gutted, because I wanted to take that home as well. Oh well. Always learn something, don't you? Also I got a nip off the old Leatherman as well. Oh well, might as well get the fire going and have a brew, mightn't I? got a lid, right? But I've solved the problem. Put the water in me Pathfinder. Yeah, job jobbed. I've got some ammo as well. I might go and have a little see if I can get it. Right, I'll chance me arm. Just on the other side there.
Seems to have buggered off. Can't get it really, it's a shame. But I'm not going to rail off it just for the sake of it.
So I'm just about to make a move, folks. So thanks for watching the video. Shame about the bow saw, but it's one of them things, I suppose. It's only the first time I've had it happen. No, second time I've had it happen to me when I've made them. So, but it is what it is. Always learn something from it, can't you? And also note to self, I must make sure I put my lid in as well when I bring it out. I can't believe I forgot my lid. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Alright, quite a chilled out little video really. Sun's out, even though it's still a bit cool. It's certainly warmer than it has been, that's for sure. So thanks for watching. Please leave your comments, share the videos if you like, that would help me out a bit as well, I suppose. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and keep the questions coming as well, because I'm liking them. I'm liking answering your questions as well. So take care, folks, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video. See you later.